Good morning, everyone. This is Varma Rajasagi from CondiroOnline.com. So today I'll take you through the number puzzles. I'm sure all of you know we have seen in the last session how to look at data interpretation, and then prior to it we have also seen numbers, series and missing terms, and prior to which we have also seen clocks and calendars. So today I'm only going to focus on puzzles, especially based on the numbers, because if you look at Infosys has one section which is only focused on number puzzles, and the rest of the companies, if you look at, they will also focus on, but not to the extent Infosys is going to focus, because Infosys only has a section dedicated for the number based puzzles. So I'm going to focus today on the puzzles. In case if you have any questions, do let me know. I'm sure this is going to be quite interesting, because all you need to do is spend a couple of minutes in analyzing the question and make sure that you are attempting, because I keep saying the fact you need to see that you are actively participating in the session rather than a muted spectator. So let's look into the few of the questions and keep sharing your thought process on every question. In fact, I'm not really interested in answer. I'm more interested in the process in which you are actually approaching the question. So let's look at the first question. I think we also have a lot of students who joined onboarded. Yes, we have Pina, Roy, we have Agarwal, Vipul, warm good morning to all of you. Let me start with the first question. I have already broadcasted the question. Please make sure that you are attempting without fail. Yes, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds for every question. So don't worry about your time, but make sure that you are attempting without fail. So it's very simple question. So you need to understand the question, what exactly the author is viewpoint, and in fact, unfortunately, you might come up with a different way of approaching, but then you need to think in the shoes of author. That is more important for us. Now there are metrics. If you look at a 4x4 table, and there are 4 values are not known to us, but then there should be some logic. You need to understand the logic. It could be the sum of the rows must be equal, or the sum of the elements in the column must be equal, or probably there's the relation between every term in that particular column or particular row, or probably it could be combination of things. So let's look at the first question, which is very easy. Now just to try to understand the things. Now, have you noticed the fact, if you look at row wise, I have one unknown element everywhere. Then, so if I'm looking at row wise, I do not know A here, I do not know in this row B, in this row C, and similarly D here. Now, if you look at column wise, yes, I know all the values. So let's look at quickly. 21 plus 11, 32, 32 plus 22, 54 plus 8. So definitely the sum of the elements in the column is 62. If you look at here, 14 plus 16, 30, 30 plus 19, 49 plus 13, which is also going to be definitely how much? 62. Now, which means I see, yes, it seems they are absolutely same. So probably let me also validate. If you look at 17 plus 15, 32 plus 14, which is going to be how much? 32 plus 12, 44. 44 plus D. In order to become 62, definitely D has to be how much? 44 plus D, which is 62. If it is 62, D has to be how much? 18. So if you look at it, seems this is the only probable choice, but then let's validate. Even ABC plus 23 also must be how much? Because it also must be equivalent to 62. Now, what are the values? We already know. A is, in this case, A is 20, B is 10, C is 9, C is 9, and D is 23. Together, if you look at 32 plus 10, 42, 42 plus 20, which is going to be definitely how much? 62. 62. So, yes, we can definitely say the right choice is going to be option 3. So if you look at the question is very simple. All you need to be able to identify the fact that sum of the elements in the every column is equal, and in fact it is going to be exactly equivalent to 62. But it is not so easy in an examination when you are under pressure, whether it is sum of the elements or it is going to be sum of the elements in row wise or column wise, or is there any other kind of relation. You need to be very careful. For that you need to start thinking in that more, then only you will be able to solve such kind of questions. Yeah, it is having said that it's only pure practice. The moment you are practicing more question, you should be able to do such kind of questions with ease, without any difficulty. You should be able to do it. Yes, let's look at the next question. I've already broadcasted the next question, so please have a look at. I'm giving you absolutely 1 minute, so let me see how much I can do it. As far as the previous question is concerned, yes, that's quite encouraging, because all the students, more than 99% have given absolutely right choice, except one of them, one or two. So please see through that. In this question, what is the right value or missing term in the figure? In fact, this was given in the Infosys. It was given in the Infosys. I've just copied the same question so that we know. Simulate as much as possible with more various kinds of FLTs. Find the missing term in the figure. Assume the second figure works in the same way as the other two. Obviously, he has to claim the fact all three are working in the same fashion. Now, how do I do it? In fact, any of the choices, yes, I'm looking forward to your, I see a couple of them, yes, I think we have also have a lot of other students who have joined, Emmanuel, Suvasis, Susmita, Abhishek, Tinku, all of you, a very good morning to all of you. Let's try to maximize this question. All you need to understand multiple ways of, if you look at, if I were you, let me try to understand the summation outside. 5 plus 8, 13, 13 plus 13, 26, 26 plus 12. How much it is going to be? 38. Sum of the elements externally is 38, but then what I have is 76, which means it should have been twice the value of, or it might be something. Let's look at this here also. 10 plus 5, 15, 15 plus 8, 23, 23 plus 3, 36, sorry, 26. So some of the elements are becoming how much? 26. So if you look at twice the value of it is becoming 52. Now good, I'm able to see the same correlation between these two figures, which means probably this also should also be in the same way. 8 plus 7, 15, 15 plus 11, 26, 26 plus 6, 32, 32 into 2, which should have been how much? 64, 64. So definitely the right choice is going to be how much? 64. Yes. So the right choice will be how much? 64. Now look at this question. Select the option as your choice which will replace the question mark. Yes, I hope all of you have done the previous question. In fact, let me see how many of you have given absolutely right choice. Yes, I see a lot of students. Yes, that's quite encouraging. All of you have, most of you have given absolutely right answer. In fact, whoever has attempted, 100% of them have given absolutely right answer. That's quite interesting. Now let's move on to this question. I've already given. Look at very carefully and please see through that you are giving absolutely right choice. Yes. Again, select the answer choice which will replace the question mark. So I don't know what, if at all you are looking at, look at carefully. 6, probably if I'm adding, this becomes 19, 19, 31 plus 23, 31 plus 23, which is going to be 54. So if I'm adding this 36, 45, no, it cannot be this one, it is becoming 90 in fact. Or let me look at row wise. If you look at, it becomes 50, this becomes 60, so it is not that. Neither the sum of the elements in the row nor in the column are equal. So now we have to look for other kind of relation. have a closer look, can I say 6 plus 19 is absolutely 25? 13 plus 17 is going to be how much? 30. Now 12 plus 9 is going to be how much? 21. So definitely the other row column also, it has to be 23 plus 45, which must have been 68. So the only option I can think of here is going to be first option. I hope all of you, yes, in fact, that's quite encouraging. All of you give an absolutely right answer. So let's move on to the next question without much wasting. Now this is interesting. This actually is a typical question again in Infosys. Let me see how many of you can do it. It is not so easy compared to the previous one, but again the pattern is there. So if you look at identify the pattern, all you need to do is identify the pattern on which the numbers are placed in the circles and find the number that needs to come in the place of the option. Now look at very carefully. I am giving you absolutely 1 minute. Let me see how many of you can do it. Yes, if you look at if I'm adding this 1, 10 plus 3 plus 4, 14 into 2, 28. Probably let me 20 plus 4, 24. No, into 2, 48. It cannot be so. Now if you look at, probably if you look at 40 plus 4 plus 6, which is 50, 50 into 2, it cannot be 200. So this logic does not work out. Now let's try to understand a little more carefully. Probably if at all 10 into 3, 30 minus 2 into 1, 10 into 3 minus 1 into 2, assuming that, no, 30 minus 2, 28. 18 into 4 minus 2 into 3, because that's how I get 72 minus 6, which is going to be 66. 40 into 6 minus 4 into 5, so I'm looking at a subsequent number. So here also after 2 I'm taking 3, so probably I would say 220. Now similarly, if I'm looking at 28 into 5 minus 3 into 4, which is going to be 5 into 28, which is going to be 140 minus 12, which could have been 128. Yes, this is one of the ways of looking at the choices. So, and now one of the common observance, this is 28, this is 66, and because the numbers are increasing, this is 220. I know without doing anything, it has to be definitely less than 220, and it should be much lower than 200. So probably the only choices without doing anything also I will narrow down is 3 and 4. In fact, if you look at author's viewpoint, in fact this is how I thought of, but when I verified the author's viewpoint, look at author has given 1 plus 3 square, how much? 10. So that is what he has written. What is 1 plus 3 cube? So definitely it's going to be how much? 27 plus 1. Similarly, if you look at 2 plus 4 square, which is going to be how much? 18. 2 plus 4 cube. 4 cube is 64. So 2 plus 4 is going to be definitely how much? 66. Now when you look at this, 4 plus 6 square. 6 square is 36 plus 4, 40. 4 plus 6 cube, 216 plus 4, 220. Now similarly, in the similar fashion, 3 plus 5 square. So 25 plus 3, 28. 3 plus 5 cube, so 125 plus 3, 128. So yes, definitely the right choice is going to be 128. Yeah. So yeah, you might end up getting the other way of approaching the question, which is absolutely fine as long as you should be able to identify the logic. Because other might have seen as 1 plus 3 square, whereas probably I've seen in a different fashion. So it is absolutely fine as long as you are able to get in the right choice. But then you should be able to identify the pattern which is going to be the same across the board, not just one or two figures. It should be applicable in every no figure, then only we can take it that logic. Yes, now let me see in fact how many of you have done. Yes, quite a few of them have given absolutely right answer. That's good. Now let's move on to quickly on to the next one. Yeah, something similar. I've already broadcasted the question, so please see through that. You are attempting without fail. Yes, all of you are absolutely right. 128 is the right choice, and let's move on to next one. Yes, I'm looking forward to your choices. So in this case, if I'm adding all the elements, 9 into 2, probably I'm seeing how much? 18. If I'm adding here 13 plus 4, 1, 14 plus 6, how much? 20 into 2, which is not applicable. So probably there will be some other way of approaching. Let's look at. Let me take in this case product of opposite values. What is going to be 2 into 3? 2 into 3, 6, plus 3 into 1. How much? Product of opposite number. So definitely how much it's going to be? 6 plus 3, 9. When you multiply 9 into 2, 18. Because end of the day, I'm looking some way to link to 18. So similarly, if you look at 1 into 5. So I'm looking from here, opposite, the product of opposite numbers and summation of them. 6 into 8, 48 plus 5, 48 plus 5, 53. 53 into 2, 53 into 2. What is the value is going to be? 1 or 6? 53 into 2. Now the same fashion, let's look at, can we say 2 into 8, 2 into 8, 2 into 8 plus 1 into 9, 1 into 9. 2 into 8 is going to be how much? 16. 16 plus 9, which is going to be how much? 25. So yes, I can see 25 into 2, which is going to be definitely 50. So all three of them are in same pattern. So the only key here, how do you able to relate the same pattern across the three figures? So definitely if you look at the product of opposite numbers and their summation multiplied by 2, will give you the desired result, which is going to be how much? 50. Yes, in fact I'm assuming that all of you are able to do it. Yes, let me see how many of you have done. Yes, again, quite a few of them have given absolutely, but the people who have attempted this question is slightly lower, probably less than 50%. But then whoever has attempted absolutely given the right choice, that is quite good. But the rest of them should have also attempted, because it's not really too difficult. I would say moderate level of question. One has to be attempt such kind of question. We cannot afford to lose them. Now let's move on to the next one. This is quite simple. I'm sure you will not take more than 10 seconds or 20 seconds to solve this question. Let me see how many of you can do it. Yes, in fact, quite a few of them have absolutely given the right choice. So if you look at the difference being how much? 2 here. Yes, it is something similar to the numbers. The difference being 4, the difference being 8, the difference being 16, the difference being how much? 32. So because it is in the order of geometric progression. So I can say 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5. It has to be 2 power 6, which means it has to be how much? 32 into 2, 64. So what is the required number? Required number must be equivalent to how much? 63 plus 64, which is absolutely going to be how much? 127. So yes, the desired result is going to be 127. 127. Yes, I do agree the fact that the right choice is going to be how much? 127. So yes, it's very simple question. I want to spend, and sometimes you will also see this kind of question. So don't get frightened by the looking at the series. They are absolutely simple. Again, I'm giving you 30 seconds because it will not take more than 30 seconds. Yes, as far as the previous question is concerned, no, more than 99% have given absolutely right answer, except one student. So I want you to be a little careful because that you cannot afford losing such kind of question. So yes, this is also very simple. Look at very carefully. This is popularly known as Pascal's triangle. Now, if you look at not exactly Pascal's triangle, so what you will look at 2 into 2, 4. 2 into 4, how much? 8. 2 into 8, how much? 16. So probably if I'm looking at this is going to be definitely how much? 4 into 2, which is going to be 8. If it is 8, 8 into 8, 64. 2 into 8, 16, which is also valid. Now if you look at again 16 into 64, 1024, which means this is also going to be how much? 16 into 24, which has to be how much? 1024. If you look at this is a multiplication of 16 into 12, which has to be how much? 32. So what are the values we are really looking at? In the choices, I have to have 8, I have to have 1024 and 32. So definitely the right values are going to be no second option. Yes, again a simple question. I'm not spending too much of time. Now this is interesting. Now let me see how if we can do it. Yes, I'm giving you absolutely 1 minute. So make use of your time effectively and make sure that you are solving the question without fail. Try to understand the logic given by the other. Yes, Emmanuel, Susmita, all of you are absolutely right. So 2 is absolutely right value. Let's move on to this question. Yes, I'm looking forward to your choices. I think quite a few of them have given first option as the right option, and some of them have given second option. Now look at very carefully. What is 7 into 11? What is 7 into 11? 77. 53 plus 24, 77. What is 7 into 9? 63. What is going to be 20 plus 43? 63. Similarly, what is 7 into 14? 98. So 23 plus 75, 98. So I see every kind of 7 into 65. So which means 7 5 is 35, 3 7 6 so 42 plus 3 45. So 455. Even if you add, you will end up getting the same. You will end up getting the same. Similarly here, 7 into 54. So definitely I can say 7 into 54, which has to be how much? 7 4s are 28, 2 7 5s are 35 plus 2 378. So if you look at 378, this summation should also be 378, which means 79 plus unknown number has to be 378. So the unknown number has to be 378 minus 79, which is definitely going to be 299. So yes, quite a few of them have given no. What is the right choice? Yes, A and B also. A lot of students have given also B as also right choice. Yes, more than 80% have given right choice. So yes, that's how you have to solve such kind of question. Now let's look at uh, the next one. I've already broadcasted, so please see through that you are actually doing it. I'm still giving you 1 minute. Try to understand the question. Please make sure that you are attempting. So if you look at with a closer look, I don't need to really spend so much of energies here. 6 into 8 by 8, how much? 6. Now here if you look at 5 into 6 by 10. So if you look at, I'm getting 6 here, I'm getting 30 by 10, which is 3. So what is happening? 6 into 2, 6 into, so he is getting multiplied. Again 3 into 2, which is going to be how much? 6. Similarly, this has to be 3 into 12 by 4. If you look at, which is 9, but then I need to multiply with 2 in order to get the resultant, because then only the pattern will be same. So obviously the only number I can think of here, with a closer look itself, I can figure out the right choice is going to be definitely how much? 18. Yes, I see a lot of people have also given absolutely right choice. So yes, that's how. This is another question which is very similar. I'm sure you should be able to solve within 1 minute. Let me see how many if you can attempt. I've already broadcasted the question, so please make sure that you are attempting without fail. So you have 4C, 2B and 3A in the first row. Similarly, you also have 7, 28 and unknown value. And yes, so you have B. Yeah, it is B, in fact. So if you look at multiple ways of looking at 4 into 7, the numbers itself 28, 3 into 15, which is 45. Similarly, 2 into 5, this must be 10. Definitely the integer part has to be 10. So these two cannot be. Now if you look at row wise, I have A, B, C. I have A, B, C. Similarly, in this row also I have B, A, C. So obviously in this row I can see B and A are already present. So the only element missing here has to be how much? 10C. So definitely the right choice here has to be among the given choices. It has to be definitely how much? 10C. Yes, quite a few of them have already done. That's excellent. Now let's look at this question very carefully. Something similar to what we have done. But yes, quick look at the question in order to practice. So if you look at, yes, I'm assuming that all of you are able to attempt the question. In fact, let me see. Yes, quite a few of them have given absolutely right value. So whoever has attempted, so if you look at very carefully, 25 plus 9, 34, 34 plus 9, 43, 43 plus 9, 52. Same way, if you look at 27 plus 9, 36 plus 9, so it has to be 45 plus 9, which has to be how much? 54 here. Similarly, if you look at 18 plus 9, 27 plus 8, which has to be 27 plus 9, which has to be how much? 36. Same way, 13, 15 plus 9, which must be 24 here, because again, the same relation is carrying on here, 33 plus 9, 42. So, if you look at what are the values we are looking at, 24, 36 and 54, the only choice has to be third option. Yes, I see a lot of them already done. Now, this is something interesting. Some of you might come up with definitely different opinions, but let's look at what is the other's viewpoint and how to minimize to the right choice. I've already broadcasted the question. Please see through that you are looking at the option choices. So let me put it in this fashion. Can we express this as 3 square, 4 square, 5 square? Yes, the first row. And second row is going to be 6 cube, 3 cube and 4 cube. Now third row is going to be 5 cube, 4 cube and it is 3 power 4. It is 3 power 4, or somebody might say 9 square. So I see definitely something fishy here, because the rest of them are following certain things, because these are all squares, these are all cubes. It is yes, it is it is definitely not a cube. So the only thing I will think of is definitely going to be 81. So yes, I'm sure all of you have attempted. In case if you have any doubts, feel free to ask me. Let's move on to the next question. Yes, as far as I see, 81 is definitely going to be something which is not in line with the others. So because the question is very simple, odd one does not belong to the group established by the rest of the numbers. So the only odd number which is not established by the rest of the numbers is going to be 81. 81. Yes, so this is quite simple, but let me see how many we can do it. Then we will move on to the yes. Yes, 18. So I'm looking forward to all of your choices. This is definitely easier compared to the previous questions. So you should be able to do it with ease. So what is the right choice? In fact, let me see how many of you have answered. 16, some of you say 16. So let's look at quickly. So if you observe very carefully, what is 11 square? 11 square is 121. So 11 square minus 120, which is equal to 1. Similarly, if you look at 7 square minus 45, which is going to be 4, which is 2 square. So we are writing 2 square. Yes, now similarly let's look at 5 square minus unknown number must be 3 square or 9. So this has to be 20. The unknown number has to be 25 minus 9, which should be how much? 16. Or probably the other way around here. If I can say 11 square minus 1 square, 11 square minus 1 square, which is 120. 7 square minus 2 square, 49 minus 4, 45. Similarly, 5 square minus 3 square, 25 minus 60 minus 9, this should be definitely 16. Yes, all of you are absolutely right. So I'm moving on to the next one. Look at very carefully. Yes, this was definitely moderate to difficult level of question. Look at carefully and try to solve. How do we decode the pattern of the given question. Again, we need to understand the unknown value or a question mark in terms of the pattern. If you sum up all of them, 7, 12, 12 plus 2, 14. If you sum up here, 8, 11 plus 5, 16. Yes, 16. So, but I cannot see. So if you look at very carefully, yes, I'm not able to find any link. Or probably if you are multiplying opposite things, 20 plus 6, 26. 10 plus 18, 28. 28. So yes, it cannot be. Now 26 and 10 plus 18, 28. So yeah. So if you look at the sum being 14 here and 16 here, let's try to understand. Can we say 14 plus 13, how much? 27. 14 plus 13, 27. Similarly, if you look at 16 plus 21, 16 plus 21, which is going to be how much? 37. So the difference being how much? 8. So I can also add here, being 8 being added here. So this is going to be 29. But what is the sum of elements here? If you look at 4, 4 plus 9, 13, 13 plus 5, 18. So 18 plus 29, which is going to be definitely how much? 47. 47. So yes, we can see some kind of a relation. Yes, if you look at, I'm repeating here, the summation being how much? 14 in the first figure. Then we are adding 13. So thereby it is becoming 27. And similarly in the second figure, the summation is being 16, summation being 16, and if you are adding 21, thereby it is becoming 27. So if you look at the difference here being how much? 8. So similarly I am assuming that the difference being will be, definitely I need to add the sum of the elements with 29. If the sum of the elements, if you look at 13 plus 5, 18, 18 plus 1, 29 is going to be how much? 47. Yes. So they are being 27, 37 and 47. So yes, this is going to be definitely difficult compared to the previous questions. Yes, all of you, I think some of you, Preeta Sen has also given another logic. Probably let's look at. That is for this question, 5 into 3, which is going to be, I think that's for the previous question. Yeah. So, yes, basically, yes, you are right. As for the previous question, this becomes in the form of a plus b into a minus b. That is the reason you are also right. 11 plus 1 into 11 minus 1, 5 plus 3 into 5 minus 3, which is also exactly the same way as what we have described. Yes, so all of you are absolutely right. 47, probably I'm sure you might have come up with a definitely different logic, some of you, or as long as you are able to get 47, which is absolutely right. Now I've also broadcasted the next question. Please see through that. All of you are attempting without fail. I've already broadcasted the question. So if you look at a closer look, 24 into 2, how much? 24 into 2, 48 plus 5, which will give you how much? 53. Similarly, 51 into 4, 51 into 4, which is going to be 204 plus 7, which is going to be how much? 211. Now, similar way, 67 into 6 plus 5. So if you look at 67 into 6, how much it's going to be? 402 plus 5, which is going to be definitely how much? 407. 407. So if you look at what is the right choice here, 407. Yes. So once you actually look at the relation, it's going to be very simple. So I'm sure all of you are doing really good. So let's continue the same spirit, but now I'm going to focus more on towards after one or two questions, I will be focused more in terms of what you call yes, case-based number puzzle. So which means again you will have a lot of description, and then you need to identify the relations give based on the given values. Now I broadcasted the question. Please see through that. All of you are trying to attempt it. Yes, I'm looking forward to your choices. Okay, let me broadcast it. So I've broadcasted the question. Feel free to ask me in case if you have any questions. All of you are say 407 is absolutely right. So I'm looking for the next question. What is going to be the right choice? What is going to be the right choice? So if you look at very carefully, what is a root 81? Root 81. 9. What is going to be root 4? 2. So this is 9, this is 2, because I see all of them are squares. What is 36? Root 36, which is going to be definitely 6. 8 into 6, 108, 108. Similarly, if you look at root 64, which is going to be 8, root 9, which is going to be 3, and root 16, which is going to be 4. So 8 into 3, 24, 24 into 4, 96. Similar fashion, if you look at 16, root 16 into root 49 into root 25. So if you look at this, going to be 4, 7, and 5. So which means 20 into 7, 140. So yes, I would only go with the second choice rather than anything. All of you are absolutely right. So 140 is going to be right choice. Yes. So let's quickly move on to the next one. Look at very carefully. Yes, all of you are absolutely right. Whoever has marked 140, let's move on to the next one. Let's try to maximize, because we should be able to attempt as many questions as possible. Yes, I'm looking forward to the choices. So, yeah, it is. Yes, quite a few of them have given absolutely right choice. So, what is 9 into 2? 9 into 2, 18. 1 into 9, 9. 8 into 4, how much? 32. So 5 into 3 must be how much? 15. This must. Similarly, 2 into 7, 14. 3 into 8, 24. So if you look at, yes, 3 into 5, 4 into 7. So everywhere it is following the same pattern. So the only thing is it has to be how much? 3 into 5. So definitely I will go with all of you. 15 right choice. So let's move on to the next one. I've already broadcasted. So please see through that you are attempting without fail. Yes, 15 is absolutely right for previous question. So I want you to focus on this question and let me know what is the right choice if you think. Now, if you summation of all the elements, how much if you look at 26 plus 28, 54. So I can see 54 by 2. So let's see whether the same relation is valid here. 49 plus 51, 100. So yes, 100 by 2, which is 50. Now if you look at 48 plus 30, which is going to be 78. So the required value in line with the other two figures, so it has to be 78 by 2, which is absolutely going to be how much? 39. So it's only that once you start identifying the numbers in a much better fashion, you will be able to solve it. Yes, I would only go with the 39 as the right choice. Let's quickly move on to the next question. In fact, the attempt percentage is very low for the previous question, but whoever has attempted absolutely given the right choice. Yes, this time I'm hoping that everyone should be able to attempt. Look at very carefully. So if you sum up all these elements, 17. So 17 plus 1, probably let's look at 14 plus 9, 23. No, 2 into 6, 8 plus 5, how much? 13. Okay, I'm not able to get any relation. So let's look at in another fashion. So what is 8 into 3? 8 into 3, I'm looking at the bottom side, 24 minus 6, which is how much? 18. So in the similar fashion, so 8 into 3 minus 6. So similarly, if you look at 4 into 9, 36 minus 10, which is going to be definitely how much? 26. Similarly, can we say this is going to be 6 into 5, 6 into 5, 30 minus 2, which is going to be definitely how much? 28. So you need to be able to think in the shoes of other rather than our own way of looking at the questions. Yes, let's quickly move on to the next one. I've already broadcasted the question, so please see through that. All of you are attempting without fail. Yes, I'm looking forward to your choices. So everyone says yes, 28 is absolutely right as per the previous question. Now some of you say 6. Yes, Pratik, you are absolutely right. So if you look at closer look, can we say this is 8 square minus 4 square? So I'm just taking 8 square minus 4 square, which is 64, minus 16, which is 48. Similarly, if you look at here, 7 square minus 3 square, which is going to be definitely 49, minus 9, which is going to be 40. Similarly, if you look at 9 square minus unknown value whose square must be equivalent to 45. So, which means can we say this is going to be 9 square minus 45 is the 45, which is going to be 36. So 36 is the no unknown value has to be root over 36, which has to be equivalent to 6. So definitely the right choice has to be the third one. All of you understand. I've already broadcasted the question, so please see through that. All of you are attempting it. Yes, I'm looking forward to your choices. I see a couple of you, yes, still. Pratik says 6, absolutely right. So if you look at closer look, can we say 3 into 8, how much? 24. 4 into 6, how much? 24. So 4 into 6 is absolutely equivalent to 3 into 8. Similarly, if you look at 8 into 9, so the product of opposite values, so 6 into 12. The same way, if you look at 4 into 9, 36 must be equivalent to 6 into unknown value. So this has to be definitely how much? 36 by 6, which is going to be 6. Yes, right choice is all. We are absolutely right. So let's quickly move on to the. Yeah, that's how you need to say that you are maximizing the attempt. So it is not really difficult. Only thing is you should be able to identify the relation. Once you identify the relation, it's going to be much easier. Yes, now let's look at the next question. I've already broadcasted the question. Please see through that you are attempting without fail. All of you says 10. I'm hoping that yes, all of you are absolutely right. So if you look at summation here, if you look at 8 plus 2, 10, 10 plus 5, how much? 15. What is the summation here? 8 plus 3, 11. What is the difference between them? 4. Yes, this way. Similarly, if you look at 10 plus 6, 16. 5 plus 4, 9. So the difference being how much? 7. Same way, if you look at 13 plus 8, 21. 9 plus 2, 11. So the this difference has to be how much? 10. So yes, all of you are absolutely right. So let's quickly move on to the next one. Now we are moving on to the little caselet based puzzles. That's what I've been telling earlier. So it is very easy in case of numerical recognition, but sometimes you'll also be given a case and during which you need to understand the relation between the values. So let's look at quickly onto the caselet based VI. I've already broadcasted the question. Please see through that. You are attempting without fail. Yes, I'm giving you absolutely 2 minutes. So because you need to understand the information very carefully. So yes, please make a note of whatever the author says, and then we can attempt the question. I'm giving you time, so don't worry about too much on the time. So let's see that you are attempting it without fail, and make sure that you are getting the right choice. So first let us try to understand the given information. Each visitor an amusement park needs to buy a ticket. Sorry. So tickets can be platinum, gold or economy. So I have three kinds. One is going to be platinum, another one is gold, and I do have economy. So let me write in three with this. And visitors are also classified as old, middle-aged and young. So I have three kinds of visitors. One is old and the other one is middle-aged, and the other kind of thing is going to be young visitors. So I do have. So I'm very clear on the description of the puzzle. Now the following facts are known about the visitors. There were 140 tickets were sold. So I do know the fact summation of all the tickets put together will definitely be how much? 140. So including all the tickets. The number of middle-aged visitors was twice that of old visitors. So middle-aged visitors were twice that of, so middle-aged will be 2x if old visitors are x, while the number of young visitors twice that of middle-aged visitors. So young visitors are going to be twice that of middle-aged visitors. So then can we say definitely it is going to be how much? 4x. But we do know the fact that the total number of tickets are the total number each visitor is buying one ticket. So I do know the fact the summation of all of them is going to be 140, which means 7x is 140, which means x must be equivalent to 20. So how many old visitors? We have 20 old visitors, and 2x means I have 40 old visitors and 40 middle-aged, and young visitors are going to be definitely how much? 80. So from these two, I definitely know the total number of visitors are going to be 140, and the old visitors are 20, middle-aged are 40, and young are 80. Young visitors bought 38 out of 55. So young visitors bought 38 out of 55. So I have 55 tickets, on the economy, and I do know summation of all of them have to be how much? 140. So out of 55, I do know 38 of them are young tickets, and they've also bought half of the total platinum tickets that were sold. Young visitors also bought half of, let us say, probably let me assume that this is the A, this is A. So the total tickets has to be how much? 2A, because the statement, look at the statement, the young visitors bought not only 38 of the 55, they've also bought half the total number of platinum tickets. That if the total number of tickets are 2A, and young visitors, because I don't want to intentionally, I'm avoiding A by 2 because I don't want to deal with the fractions. As rather I'm taking A, this will become 2A, which is much easier to do it. Now look at the last statement. The number of gold tickets bought by old visitors. Number of gold tickets bought by old visitors. So let's see. This is B. Gold visitors equal to the number of economy tickets bought by old visitors. So this will also be B. This will also be B. Hope all of you are clear. Number of gold tickets bought by old visitors is equal to number of economy tickets bought by old visitors. So definitely I know this is going to be how much? B. Now this is the information I've already have. I've not done anything till now. I'll just make sure that whatever the information that the author has decimated, I try to see that I'm representing in terms of tables. So because this kind of caselet based puzzles obviously going to take a longer time compared to the previous ones, because you need to understand the information, you need to depict in the appropriate manner, then only you will be able to proceed to the question. So yes, so let's focus on the question now. What is the, if the number of old visitors buying the platinum tickets, the number of old visitors buying the platinum tickets, old visitors buying the platinum tickets, so probably let me take this is C, is equal to number of middle-aged visitors buying the platinum ticket. So I know this has to be also C. This has to be also C. Then which among the following could be the total number of platinum tickets? Total number of platinum tickets sold. Look at very carefully. So what is the information? The number of old visitors who are buying visitors who are buying platinum tickets. So yes, I know the fact these two are also equal. Which of the following could be the total number of tickets sold? Which of the following could be the total number of tickets sold? Look at carefully. Is there no apart from the given information? So all I know is I'm buying the 2 out of platinum tickets. Young ones are buying half of them. So what is the exactly we are looking at? Which of the following could be the total number of platinum tickets we are buying? Okay. Now let's look at all. I've already depicted the entire information. Whatever the author has given, I've just represented. Now I need to figure out how many number of total tickets, platinum tickets were sold. Now look at very carefully. Now look at the option choices. Now out of 2A, I know half of them were bought by younger ones. So the remaining half will be shared equally between old and middle aged. So if it is A, so we also know the fact this summation together should also be A. Why? Because you need to appreciate the fact 2C plus total number of platinum tickets. So how many platinum tickets were sold? C plus A, which is going to be 2C plus A, which is also known to us how much? 2A, which means the moment I'm moving this side, so A is as good as how much? 2C. A is as good as how much? 2C. So obviously, yes, that's how the relation here. Now look at very carefully. If there are 38 tickets, if I am making it half, 19 and 19, yes, so which means this should have been 19 and these two together should have been 19. They are also equal, but 19 cannot be distributed equally. If equally distributing 9 and half, 9 and half, so tickets cannot be half and half. So definitely not a feasible option. Please stay focused. Similarly, look at 34. So if I am dividing, this becomes 17, this becomes 17. Again, I cannot make into two equal integers, so it has to be 8.5. So 8.5, 34 is also not a choice. In fact, 35 is also not a choice, because 35, in fact, I cannot make into two equal parts. The only possibility here, if you look at 32, when you are dividing into two parts, so then this becomes 16, this becomes 16. Yes, among the choices, definitely this is a feasible choice. So 32 is going to be definitely feasible choice. Yes, because I can definitely divide them into two equal parts. Yes, hope all of you are able to follow. In case of any doubts, yes, Emmanuel, absolutely right. 32 is going to be definitely right choices among the given one. Now similarly, look at the next question, something similar, because this kind of questions, I know it's going to take a little bit of time to digest, because the way the author has posed the question. So in fact, I can say quickly write the previous information here. We have old visitors, we have middle-aged, we have young, and then we also have platinum, we also have gold, and we have economy. So we also know the fact we have 55. What is the information I have? Yes, these two are equal, C and C, and this is 2A, which is also equal to, A is equal to 2C. We already know that. And similarly, I've just represented the previous information. I'm not doing anything. We also know these two are equal, and we do know the fact there are 38 visitors who bought economy, and in total how many economy tickets were sold? There are 55 tickets which are sold of economy. Yes, so I've represented all the information what author has given, so I've not done anything else. So now let's try to understand the question. Now if you look at which of the following statement must be false? Which of the following statement must definitely be false? Now let's try to understand the given information. The number of old and middle-aged visitors buying platinum tickets were equal. The number of old and middle-aged platinum. In fact, this is an assumption I've already made as coming to the previous assumption. Yes, this could be definitely possible, which means it could be true. It could be true. This is what we have already assumed as part of the previous question. In fact, if you look at number of old visitors and platinum visitors, yes, this is already assumed. That's how we got it. So this is also I cannot make as part of this question, because this is different from the previous one. Now look at the second statement. The number of old and middle-aged visitors buying the economy tickets are equal. Buying the economy tickets are equal. So if it is B, this is also B. Now look at very carefully. So all I know is how many economy tickets were sold? 55. So can we say 55 should be definitely equivalent to 38 plus 2B? Now look at very carefully. 2B is always going to be how much? Even. If 2B is even, 38 is also even. Even plus even will always be even. It cannot be odd. So these two never should be equal. If they are becoming equal, it cannot be, the economy tickets cannot be 55. So definitely the second statement is not a valid statement. It is definitely going to be false. I don't even need to look at the remaining two statements, because This is the single choice question. So if you look at this question, once you understand the data, it is very simple. But for understanding the data, you need to have a lot of patience, and you need to see that you are staying focused until you complete the puzzle, and you need to be able to sustain the same energies till the end of the completion of the puzzle. The moment you are lost at some point in the puzzle, yes, you are going to you are going to find it difficult. Otherwise, it's going to be very simple. So definitely the right choice in this case is going to be second option. Yes, so hoping that all of you are able to understand. Yes, this is simple. So I've already broadcasted the question, so let me see how many of you can do it. Very simple question. You often find such kind of questions as a part of various examinations in coding, indirectly in coding. So what is the code for Canada? Again, if you look at the question, what exactly the author is saying, the questions, all the questions are given based on the data given. Read carefully the information and answer the question by choosing the appropriate choices, by choosing the correct choices from the given ones, and it may be useful to draw a rough diagram. So each letter is coded as a number, and a row number and column number as per the given matrices. For example, B is coded as either 0 0, or probably B is also coded as 1 3 because similarly, what is the code for Canada? Look at the choices. So Canada, if you look at, C can be either 20 or probably C can be 44. Yes. So if you look at 20 or 44, look at the choices. 20 is a possible, 44 definitely, 41, 24 because 24 is going to be D, 44, 41 is going to be I. So definitely these two no might not be feasible. Let's look at A. Yes, I can see 97. 97 is A, so this is C, this is A. So let's validate 1111, which is going to be definitely how much? N. So yes, 87. So if you look at row 8 and column 7, which is also going to be A. So yes, until now it's very clear. 1 0. So row 1 and column 0, so which is also going to be D. This is also fine. So we are looking at, it has to be A. Let's validate 59, row 5 and column 9. So yes, I see everything is valid. So definitely what is the right choice here? Canada is going to be definitely right choice. In fact, a lot of you have actually given the absolutely right choice. So let's quickly move on to the next one. Something similar. So yes, sometimes they will also make use of the numbers mixed with coding also. So again, something similar, but the only thing is you are required to code for Bindi. Now let's look at 1 and 2. Bindi row. In fact, if you look at 1 2 1 2, it is I, so might not be feasible. 1 4 A, which is also not feasible. 1 4, which is also not feasible. 1 3, yes. B, there is a choice. B is there. 1 2, we already know. Now 1 3 B, I. 8 9, author says 8 9, yes. A row 8 column 9, which is I. N 2 2 row 2 column 2, yes, I do agree. This 7 6 row 7 column 6, yes. D is also valid. 40, row 4, column 0, which is going to be definitely how much? I. So yes, this is absolutely going to be right choice. Yes, so yeah. Look at this question. Look at this question. I've already broadcasted this, so let's see. Yeah, again, it's something case-lit based question, but this time it's going to be slightly easier compared to the previous one. But again, yes, sir, you cannot avoid. Sometimes you can't expect every time it's going to be very simple. Sometimes you are going to get a case-lit based kind of puzzle. So we need to see that we are also getting accustomed to this. Yes, we will stop with this puzzle. So please pay attention and let's try to get a let's try to close the session with a positive note and make sure that we are attempting without fail. I've already broadcasted the question, so have a look at them. Again, you need to understand the information, so you should not rush much here. If you look at how many children are there, 2,800, and how many boys and girls. So if you look at boys and girls are in the ratio of 4:3. So 4:3. Immediately you should be able to understand together how many parts? 7 parts. So 7 parts corresponds to 2,800, which means 1 part corresponds to how much? 400. Can we say 3 parts will be definitely 3 into 400, 1200, and 4 into 4 parts, 400, which is going to be 1600. So we know boys are going to be 1600 and girls are going to be 1200. All the children have taken a different hobby classes like singing, dancing, and painting and cooking. So we have 4 different classes. 20% of the boys takes painting classes. So if you look at 20% of the boys, so boys, 20% of the boys, which means 20% of 1600. So how many of them are going for painting? 20%, which represents definitely 320. 320 of them are going to the painting classes. The number of girls taking the dance classes is 4/5 of the number of boys taking the same. If dancing is X, girls are also dancing is going to be definitely how much? 4/5 of the X. The number of girls taking the dance classes is 4/5 of the number of boys taking the dance classes. So I do not know really how many boys are taking the dancing. That's the reason I'm taking X. So definitely I do know this is 4/5. Now 1/4 of the girls taking cooking classes. So I know 1/4 cooking classes is going to be 1/4 of 1400, which is 300. The total number of students who is taking the cooking classes is 700. So if it is 300, obviously the boys who are taking the cooking classes are going to be how much? 400. 400. So we have cooking, we have we have already covered cooking in the boys, painting, dancing. Obviously, we are left with what is that? Singing. Singing is there. Singing is there. Now, 2/5 of the boys take singing classes and the remaining takes the dancing classes. 2/5 of the boys take singing classes. Now 2/5 of the boys, so 2/5 of the 1600. So if you look at 5 320s, so definitely I can say 640 of them, 640 of the students, boys are taking singing. Remaining will be, if you look at 640 plus 400, 1040, 1040 plus 320, 1360 students out of 1600 are participating either in singing, cooking or painting, which means dancing will be, because 1360 plus dancing should be 1600, which has to be how much? 240. Now dancing is 240 because 4/5 of the boys who are dancing are exactly girls are dancing, which is going to be 48, so which has to be definitely how much? 192. 192. So until now it is very clear. Now the girls taking singing classes is twice the number of boys taking the same. Now girls taking the singing classes is the twice the number of boys taking the same. The remaining girls taking the what is exactly something? I see girls who are taking the singing classes is exactly okay. I made small mistake, so sorry. I've actually taken girls to boys. It has to be boys to girls. So okay, let me quickly revise. I don't want to unnecessarily confuse. Sorry. Let me just quickly revise. So there are 2,800 children. So I know girls and boys are being in the ratio of 4:3. So definitely it has to be how much? Because 7 parts corresponds to 2. The girls are going to be 1,800. Boys are going to be how much? 1,200. Not 1,200. Yeah, 1,600. Girls are going to be 1,600. Boys are going to be 1,200. Now we also know 20% of the boys takes painting. So painting, how much? 20%, which is going to be 240. 240. So we have seen until now the number of girls taking dances classes is 4/5 of the number of boys. So boys taking dancing classes is X. Girls are going to be definitely how much? Girls dancing will be 4/5 of X. That is what exactly we have done. Now we also know the fact 1/4 of the girls taking the cooking classes. 1/4 of the girls. So cooking classes is going to be 1/4 of them, which is going to be 400. Now the total number of students who are taking cooking classes is 700, which means cooking of the boys will be definitely how much? Because these two summation would be 700. This has to be 300. Now 2/5 of the boys taking singing classes and remaining boys taking dancing classes. So singing 2/5 of the 1,200, which is going to be definitely 240, which is going to be 480. So I know singing is going to be how much? Singing is going to be 480. We also know sum of all this has to be 1,200, which means 240 plus x plus 300 plus 480 must be equivalent to 1,200. So if you look at, I know the fact is going to be 720 plus 300, 1,020. So x must be equivalent to 1,200 minus 1,020, which is how much? 180. So how many students are actually dancing? 180 boys are dancing. Now 180 boys are dancing. Girls will be obviously 4/5 of 180. So 5 how much? 36, which means this has to be how much? 144 girls are dancing. Now we also know the fact the girls taking singing classes is twice the number of boys. So that is where I got wrong earlier, because singing classes, for how many of them boys are taking? 480. Girls has to be twice, which is how much? 960. The remaining girls takes painting classes. So I'm left with painting. But I do know the fact singing 960, cooking 400 and dancing 144, and the remaining has to be painting, and together it must be how much? 1600. So if you look at, this is 1360 plus 144, which must be equivalent to 4, 10, 15 not 4, 14 not 4, 14 or 15. Okay, it is going to be definitely 15 not 4. So 15 not 4 plus painting has to be equivalent to 1600, which means painting has to be how much? 96. 96. Now, once you get the information, then once you understand this information, rest is very simple. Now, what is the total number of children who are taking the dancing? Now, I have 144 here. I also have how much? 480 here. Together, it has to be how much? 144 number of girls. 5/4. Again, I made a small mistake. I'm extremely sorry. It is 4/5 or 5/4. 5/4. Okay. Then I will not get the right choice. So it has to be 5/4 of x. So 5/4 of 180, which means this is for 45. So this has to be how much? This has to be 225. If it has to be 225. So if it is 225. If it is 225, again my statistics go haywire. Okay, but let's look at very carefully. As far as this question is concerned, definitely what is the total number of children taking the dances classes? So I have 225 girls here, and I also have 180. So 225 plus 180. So looking at the only choices, I can say definitely 405. 405. Yes, absolutely 4 is going to be the right choice. Similarly, if you look at the next question, what is the number of girls taking painting classes? What is the number of girls taking the painting classes? So yes, if you look at, because this becomes 225, the option will be, if you look at 960 plus 400, 1360 plus 225, which is going to be how much? 1585. So I'm only left with, out of 1600, I need to see that I'm subtracting 1585. So definitely the only choice has to be 15. So yes, the right choice in this question is going to be definitely 15. So yes, 405, absolutely right. All of you are absolutely right. So I made a mistake myself earlier. So once you get 405, I'm sure you should also be able to get the girls taking painting classes is going to be definitely how much? 15. Yes. Yeah. So so if you look at this question to today's session, so prima focus, our focus should be, even if they are testing the number-based puzzles like what we have seen, no, they are going to be really get tested, especially in the Infosys and quite a few exams. So we should be able to get hold on them, whether it is going to be a direct number-based puzzle or it's going to be a caselet-based puzzle. All you need to do is you need to see that you are practicing. As I done couple of mistakes, you cannot. Once you practice, you will not be able to commit. So you need to be very carefully reading, like what I've done. 4/5. No, in fact, the author has given 5/4. So this is what we call as false reading of the question. We'll always try to read as if we like rather than what is the author is saying. So we tend to commit such kind of mistakes because the answer is not there. I was re-looking at, that's how I figured, but ideally I cannot afford to commit such kind of mistakes in the exam. So please see through that you are not limiting to the classroom sessions and practice as much as possible. And in case of any doubts, feel free to ask me. Yes, thank you all. Have a nice day. Look forward to see you again tomorrow with a different topic. Thank you.